Hello, I'm Mike,
I'm Becky.
and this is a soaking wet patch of wasteland.
It's a soaking wet patch of wasteland, but it's so much more than that. This is going to be the site for our community garden. It's going to be an accessible, green, social space where people can come to connect, grow fresh fruit and veg, and a place for us to learn about food waste and how we as a church can affect the environment.
Well, that sounds so much cooler than a wet piece of land, so maybe you could show me?
Yes, let's have a tour.
Let's go.
This is our seating area. Here we're hoping to have benches, accessible seating, an area for people to come and relax and socialise once they've done a bit of work in the garden. We're also thinking this might be an outdoor education area for local schools that might be interested.
Or it could be a place where you just sit and watch other people doing the gardening. But it's right in the middle of the space, and so it's got access to everything and a view of everything that's going on. What's next? This is kind of a cool space in the corner with these lovely old trees around about.
It really is. Our trees have already been trimmed back, so this is hopefully where they'll stay, and to fit underneath them will be a few shipping containers. And you might think that doesn't sound particularly attractive, but we're hoping that schools can get involved to paint them different colours and make them a really bright and attractive place for us to store our garden equipment. We're also thinking about having indoor seating for when the weather's bad, when people are working in the garden, and perhaps maybe a barbecue area as well.
Oh, love a barbecue. Can't beat that. So that's the garden then, right? We've got the seating area there, we've got the barbecue area there. What more does the garden need?
Much more than that.
Okay, what's next?
Over here. So, over here, this is a great nature and wildlife corner. You can already see and hear the beautiful birds singing right now. And it's great undergrowth going on there. So we're hoping to maintain this as a wildlife corner. We're thinking beehives, hedgehog houses, bird feeders, and a compost pile, so we can eventually create our own sustainable source of compost for the vegetable garden.
So we're coming back up, not quite into the middle, but into this open area here. We're actually going to talk about planting some things?
Yes, we are. So this area will hopefully be our raised bed area. We're thinking we could reuse tractor tires to plant vegetables within, or even breeze block raised beds so they're accessible for everyone to get their hand at planting veg and learning how to grow fresh vegetables.
And this land is all quite uneven, as you can see with us walking about on it just now, and quite low compared to the rest of the land on the site, but it's going to have a bit of a makeover before we even get to the garden stage.
Yes.
But you'll have to check out another video to find out where we're going to get all the ground and the soil to flatten this out.
Mike,
Right,
this is going to be your favourite part of the garden.
wait, a second barbecue area?
You wish! This is going to be our play area. So we're hoping to create a space that's accessible for all ages really, if you like to play in a park. We're hoping that adults can come and work in the garden, and children will have a safe space to come and relax and play with maybe swings, a seesaw, and we'll look at making them out of recyclable material as well.
Or the adults could play in the area and supervise the kids doing the work in the garden,
Exactly.
teaching them skills and all that kind of stuff.
You've got it sorted.
Of course I have. There's got to be more to this, so much already, but what else are we doing here? Because we're about halfway through, I think.
We're only halfway through this garden. So, as you pan out this way here, this will be the rest of our vegetable growing area. These will be in-ground planted areas, so not raised beds. We're hoping to make them a large size, so our production of fresh fruit and organic veg will be massive by the time that this garden is established. We're also hoping on the far side to have polytunnels installed. This will be to help us produce food in the unpredictable weather of Inverness and Culloden area throughout all seasons.
Indeed, all seasons, which we almost get in one day.
Yes.
So we're kind of in the area now where the polytunnels are going to be what we're talking about, but a bit noisier up here closer to the road, and we hope to have some planting around here, maybe some shrubs, some bushes, maybe trees to plant.
Yeah, this is an excellent opportunity to plant more trees in the community. We're also looking at hedging the area, so it's a great shelter for wildlife like birds, but also considering fruit trees in the garden too. We would love to create this into some kind of community orchard as well, so there is year-round produce, fresh produce for people to come and pick.
And so all of that, we've got loads of things so far, haven't we? We've got everything from play parks to barbecue areas to something about growing things, planters, polytunnels, maybe even a pond if we can make that happen, if we're allowed to do that. Good for biology and...
We love a pond. It's another part that's great for wildlife, especially if you have the beehives. It's important to have beehives near a water source. It would be also a nice reflective and calm area to sit around. We're also thinking about putting wildflowers in the area, so another beautiful sensory experience as part of the garden.
So that was a really lovely tour, Becky, and only a little bit wet, and one day it will be much flatter, much smoother, and lots more to see, but you've given us a real visual of what it is. But we're back here at the gateway of the community garden, which just backs onto the barn there. And this piece of land here that we've just walked all around has been around a long time, and it's been really overgrown, and it came into ownership of the Barn Church just in the last couple of years or so. And there's so many other things that we're going to be trying to do and trying to pull off, and you need to check out other videos for that. Always remember the plugs. So the big question is, why are we doing this? Why are we going to the trouble of creating a garden space here? I suspect the key word that you mentioned a lot of times along the tour was community. So what's it really about?
It's all about community. We're hoping to see this space filled full of people of all ages and have an accessible and welcoming space for people to enjoy the outdoors in a local setting that can also provide fresh food and veg for people to enjoy with their meals and share. We're hoping to combine it with cooking classes and show the local Highland community what freshly grown food looks like and how to incorporate that into a diet. We're also thinking of picking up with different partners across the Highlands. For example, Job Centre would love to do confidence building sessions with us. We're looking at doing mental health workshops with local GPs, and there are a few other charities and schools as well that are really interested in what we're doing.
I think that's cool, and a key thing amongst all of that is that this is not a bunch of skills and resources and abilities that we already have. So we want this space to be able to use to show people stuff, but we actually need as much partnership and investment at times from people who have those skills to be able to do that. So
it's going to be a skill sharing site as much as a connection and community site as well. So there's lots to learn.
So it's not about us saying, here's our garden, we know what we're doing with this, and we're going to show you how to do gardening stuff, because these fingers aren't too green, I have to be honest.
You're right, we need as much help as we can possibly get from local people and people around the community that know what they're doing with growing vegetables and are interested in what we're doing. We're more than welcome to have as many people involved as we possibly can.
But what we do have is we have the giant piece of land, we have the heart, we have the vision for it, and I guess what we need, if you're watching this, is we need you in whatever way that you can support it. And yes, maybe this is a plug for give us your donations and go to the link below, but actually what we've said as well, it's about we want ideas and vision and passion that will add to ours, and we want people with skills in gardening and growing and in all things environmental and all of that. So there really is, I can't think of a single person that would be watching this that can't in some way get excited about it or want to be involved somehow. So hopefully we'll hear from you and see you soon.